Hello YouTube, this is AlphaPenguinSoldier, and today I have an invoked deck profile. It's honestly my first draft. I took inspiration from a couple different people that I watched, and just through testing. By no means is this going to be a final build or like the perfect build, but this is just like what I'm playing right now, and it works pretty decently. But I'm sure there's plenty of other invoked deck profiles that are better than this, but we'll get into it. It's a really fun deck, and I wanted to profile it, and it took a long time to get the cards, but anyway. So you start out with your standard 3 Alistair. It's just a self-explanatory card. There's nothing else to it. And I'm running some Mech Knights. I know this is a pretty common build. For my Mech Knights, I do 3 purple, 2 blue, 1 red, 1 indigo, and then just cause I don't own like Super Poly right now. I just haven't gotten around to picking it up or anything. I kind of want a foil version, and I'm kind of holding off or seeing if I can trade for it, but I almost definitely cut him and then probably cut red for... I might actually keep red, I don't know. I actually ran 3 blue, but I learned that wasn't too good. You don't resolve 3 in a duel. You have easy ways to get him. So that's my Mech Knight lineup. I also ran hand traps. We got 2 Droll, 2 Veiler, and 3 Ash Blossom. I would run 3 Droll, honestly. Maybe, and probably the 2 effects. Actually, you know what? I probably would drop the red and the yellow to add in Super Poly, because this is partially a fusion deck, and then you can do other stuff with the deck. But and then probably another Droll. So if you had those options, probably cut those 2. And then I personally am trying the Kaiju engine. I do have a Slumber in here, and another card that is actually pretty funny, like if you fuse off with this guy, or one of those things. It's pretty funny to get some of these cards back through the other card, but we'll get back to that. And that is my monster lineup. It's pretty decent. Actually, I don't know if it's decent. I think it's decent. For spells, you got your 3 Magical Meltdown. This will just add an Alistair to your hand, and then it basically ensures your fusion, all your fusion cards go off. 2 Terraforming, I would run probably 3 and 2, but that's at 2 now, so I'll do 3 and 2. This might go down to 2. I don't know yet. I still have further games to play with people. We got our 2 Invocation. I would run 3, but I actually don't own Pot of Desires right now, because I sent them to a friend of mine. So just for the time being, I'll run 2. They're pretty recyclable. Banishing Alice. Actually, when you fuse, you basically banishing the Alistair out of grave, and then banishing something else. You can get that back in the deck and get the Alistair back in hand. So I just don't see a point in running 3. I'm doing 2 Book of the Law. It's just kind of like a spicy card, and you have your new Link card that can get it right to hand, which is pretty nice. And you can definitely go for OTKs with this deck occasionally. Okay, and then I think that's it for the real cards. I'm trying out 2 World Legacies Memory. You special summon a Mech Knight from your hand or your deck in defense position and return it to your hand at the end phase. But it locks you into Mech Knights. If you don't have a way to search and you have that in hand, it just gives you a free monster to hand, or like purple, do its thing and all that good stuff. So it's a pretty neat card. And it's not always dead, especially if you have the Mech Knights in your hand, because you can always set it to make sure you got 2 in the column if you really need. Also have 2 Twin Twisters, just for some spot removal, because honestly, you could just drop the yellow altogether. He's in there for more names for the Mech Knights, but that helps with the spot removal. These 3 cards are token generation. Hornet Drones, if your opponent lets it go off, it's a free Alistair Link monster. It's pretty cool. We also have the Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. I wish this was at more than 1, but it is what it is. It's such a good card. I've swung the game back in my favor with just that card. And then for the last one, I know I'll probably get some flack for this, but I run 2 World Legacy Secret. So for starters, when you activate it, you get to add a level 5 you target a level 5 or higher monster in your graveyard, and then you can special summon it. So say you could fuse with one of these if you really wanted. Get them the graveyard, or Kaiju Slumber. They essentially get rid of them. You can bring these back. This is 3,300, 3,000, and I mean, I wouldn't bring this back, but it's pretty funny when you use Invocation and get this to your grave, and then later you can activate that. It's pretty cool. Also, your Makaba, we're not going to worry about that. The Purgatrio and the Raijin, those are all valid targets for the World Legacy Secrets. It's just any level 5 or higher monster in your graveyard, and you special summon it. When it leaves the field, destroy that monster. Well, when this card leaves the field, destroy it. But the really funny part that I like, that really annoys people, and has really hit me hard in some games, and it's part of the reason I made the deck, is negate opponent's monsters' effects that activate in the same column as a Mech Knight you control. So it's pretty easy to have a couple different. Say you have like a purple, a red, and then the one that really puts it over the top is the indigo. So say they get something out of the columns, try to activate the effect. I think you can, well, at least I've done it on YGO Pro, where I've chained the effect, moved it, and then because this is on the field, their effect doesn't get to go off. So I don't actually know, but I don't see why that wouldn't work. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's also YGO Pro, because sometimes things don't always, work correctly. But I saw that interaction and I thought that was pretty cool. We're gonna go to the extra deck. I've made Borload, their Scapegoat in there. It's pretty good. I really like this card. He's your Link 3. If he's the only one in the column, he gets to hit your opponent directly. That's pretty nice. There were some other things. I haven't made him too often, but when I do, it's pretty good. If this points to no monsters, it can't be destroyed by card effects, and your opponent cannot target it. Yeah, can't be destroyed or targeted, basically, and you can send one other card you control in this card's column to the graveyard and special summon a Mech Knight from your deck in defense. So I'm sorry, I didn't really know that card. I probably should have read it a little more, but I haven't gone into it. But if you get him just by himself, he's pretty good. Then we also have the Mech Morningstar and the Invoker of Madness. They're basically the same card, let's be honest. You can basically summon them with the same, usually it's like Alistair and then a Mech, or however you want to do it. This can get a World Legacy or a Mech Knight, so you can easily search out secrets if you want to. I believe you have to discard. Yeah, and then he gets Invocation or the Book of the Law to hand, so that's why I have Book of the Law in the main deck. And then if he leaves the field because of an opponent card effect, you can add Omega Summon. I haven't really messed around with it, but when the 2 times I tried testing it, I always drew into it. And I didn't really like it. We have Kagari for drones. Basically, you'll activate drones, make a token, get rid of the token, special summon this, add the drones back to hand. Activate the drones, make a token, and then you'll go into Alistair. Super easy if your opponent lets it go off. We have Link Karibo, Link Spider. We have Phoenix, Cerberus, and Unicorn. This is just good spot. They're actually all really good spot removal. I'm probably going to cut the L. Another reason to cut it is the Phoenix. It'll hit anything. Like I said, I'm just kind of running it because of names right now, but I'm sure it's not going to make the cut as this deck for me progresses forward. This will hit a special summon monster, and then this will just spin a card back. For the invoked cards, 2 Makaba. You just don't run 3 if there's no point. I'm running 1 Purgatrio, 1 Ragin, and 1 Elysium. I'm trying this. I don't see a lot of deck profiles with this in it anymore. But the times I've made it online and then the times I made it in person, it's really flipped the game for me. And it didn't always win me the game, but it's taken quite a few games, and it's a pretty nice card. I actually changed up my extra deck. I originally had a Skuldred in here because I didn't know what else to throw in. Somebody was like, why don't you put in another actual invoked monster? And I was like, that sounds pretty good. Actually, you can see it. This is signed by Nod, and I was asking him for a few tips and stuff for this deck. I actually got this from him. You can see it signed. His channel is Invoked 101. He's a real invoked guy to go to. So if you don't like this profile, you can definitely check out his channel for his profile. But anyway, this is my first version of Invoked. This variant is the Mech Knight. There's some kaijus. It's just really more of a fun deck for me. It's not like overly competitive. You can take this to locals. It's pretty decent, but I really enjoy the build right now. Like I said, I'll probably end up cutting the yellow and the red in the future, because I'll definitely profile this as I update a significant amount of cards. I'm sure the extra deck will change with the formats and as cards come out. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stay casual. This is AlphaPenguinSoldier signing out.